All right, the moment of truth. The backswing has set us up for success. We are ready to launch that ball forward, launch the club forward. But we got to keep in mind here, just like a pitcher, right? We've loaded up, we've got everything ready to go. Now the sequence starts from the ground up, okay? The kinetic change, the ground force movement, whatever you want to call it. But in that framework of a pitcher, my first move isn't with my left knee, okay? It isn't with my hips. My first move literally comes out of my foot, and I start moving everything forward. I start pushing forward, all right? So we don't want to get off too early, but we got to do it in our own sequence, okay? Some people can get off really early. Justin Thomas gets off really early. But I think there's a sequence for all of us there that we need to look at and just get in there. And when you push forward and you start everything in the right motion, just like in the throwing motion, the rest of it falls into place. Let me show you. So if I'm here and I'm throwing this pitch, right, and I start and everything starts turning, okay? So my hips start turning, everything's going forward, and if I leave correctly or turn correctly, my shoulders follow, and then my arm is the last thing to follow, and then my right hand is the last thing to follow. So I'm turning, look, my right elbow's right in the right place. Now if I just went from here and bent over into a golf position, right, that'd be pretty good. So just as I'm throwing, right, the right elbow's coming through, and then everything goes through towards the target. Same thing in golf. So we get up here to the top of our backswing, right, and now we just push from the ground up, and everything starts turning, everything falls into place, and then it goes down the line, okay? Now there are a lot of thoughts on the downswing and what your arm should be doing and all this kind of stuff. I'm not smart enough to know that. So the only thing I try to do in the backswing and in the downswing is I want to move this part of the golf club. That's all I try to move. And here's how I try to move it. I try to take that part of the club straight back and up, straight down, and to the left. Okay? That's it. That's going to send my club down the target line, and it's also going to provide the right sequence in my mind, the right motion and the right pressure to release the club fully. If I try to swing the butt of the club, I don't think that gives me the proper release motion, right? That kind of drags me out into here a little too much. I want to be bam. I want to get in there and hit that golf ball. So I want to push this part of the club as hard as I can through that impact zone. That'll allow me the most pressure and contact into the back of that ball rather than trying to swing this end of it. It also provides the proper sequence for me, okay? Because just after impact, I want to be right here. See that full extension, my body's still behind the ball, and everything is released, and that means I've delivered all my power into that golf ball and slung it out there, okay? Why do I not want it right here? Because that's a release too early. That means if you're bending the shaft properly, that means that the club is already released and you're not putting that full force of the club into the back of the ball. You've got to be out here so that that club has kicked and gone through that ball with as much speed as possible. That's why all the better players clip the ball first and then the ground. It's because that release is just out here and not right here. If you're hitting the ground first, that means that you're throwing that pitch wide right, okay? Your release is just not at that perfect timing. Now, so just in that pitch, I don't let my right arm go dead, okay? There's a lot of statements out there like you put too much right hand in it, or you weren't, you swung too hard. All that's nonsense, okay? John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, all those long hitters on tour, the long drive guys, Tim Berg, Sadowski, Kevin Shook, all those guys, man, they hit the ball. They don't just let their arms fall into place and swing through here. They hit the ball. And if I'm going to throw a pitch, I know what my right arm is doing, and I'm pulling that right arm through, and I've got control of this right arm. Same thing in the golf swing. You've got to have control of this right arm coming into impact. You've got to know what it's doing, and you've got to push it through there. Yeah, you can just let it sling through there, but look how much power I get just letting my shoulders swing my arm, right? Not much. But if I take this arm and I engage those muscles, man, I can really zip it through there, right? So in the golf swing, this whole nonsense of just letting your arms follow your body, I don't agree with. Take control of your arms. Hit the ball with your arms. Have control. You've got to control that golf club. Swing the club. Don't let the club swing you, all right? Get in here, take control of that club, and power it through that impact zone. All the way down on the downswing, you should know what that club is doing, not just get up here, oh, what just happened? Okay, how many times have we done that? We've all done that. We've all seen those shots on TV that fly crazy. It's because, you know, the hand comes off or whatever, the arms go crazy. You've got to be in control of your arms, and specifically your right hand, just like if I'm pitching, right? I know where that right hand's releasing, right? If I just let it go and release anywhere it wants to, that ball is going to go anywhere. It's going to go into the stadium, right? So take control of it on the downswing. You're coming down into the ball. All we're doing is swinging this part of the grip, taking it up, taking it down, powering it through to the left, because that gives us that full release. And then your follow through is going to be determined by your body, your ability, your injuries or whatever, okay? Arnold Palmer had the craziest follow through in golf. So don't let somebody tell you that your follow through is wrong. Your follow through is just a matter of who you are and how you've moved that weight through the impact zone, okay? But slam into the back of that ball. But do it under control, do it with consistency, and you'll be a better ball striker for it. But put some effort into that downswing, all right? Don't just be lazy. Know what your hands are doing, know what your arms are doing, and get that through impact and just zip it through there. And feeling that you should have, maybe to relate it, would be that of a baseball player swinging a bat, okay? He gets up here, and if he's going to hit a home run, 9 times out of 10, he looks like this. Okay, there's a few powerful guys that could just slap it out of there with their hands, but the average guy that hits a home run, he's like this at impact. Okay, and that's what you got to think of. So you want to be the same way at impact, just past impact, you want to be fully released out here. Okay? That's going to give you the power and moving that club through the impact zone that you should have. Hope that helps. Any questions, hit me up at StraightPutt, Instagram StraightPutt, or on the email, daniel@straightputt.com. Thanks a lot.